Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. It's Chark Out Lori. It is Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. You're at the pregame show. I'll get started officially in 8 minutes. I need an audio-visual check, please. I'm going to say hello to my friends, do a couple chart requests. And just so you know, folks, today I will be very efficient. I must be done 10 minutes before 9 a.m. because then Charting Man Dan will go live with the open house. Good morning. Thanks, Night Truck. I appreciate it. Oh, when I pen a message, I can't see the message. The other messages are the early ones, I should say. Good morning, Neil, Greg, Bennett, Carlos, Chris, Lisa, RJ, Lori, Andre. I said Andre a couple times already, huh? Nope. Sam, Ram. That rhymes. Good morning, Night Truck. Hey, Casey. Mal, and we've got the boogeyman here. Hey, Hector Bask. Good morning. Andres, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hey, Roger. Whitney, Bobby, Duke. Thanks, Lori. Good morning, Hector. Hi, Trader Satoshi. Sure, I'll check out Ollie. Hey, Scott, Matthew, ER. Let me go back up to the top and make sure. No other chart requests before Ollie. All right, let's do it. All right, Ollie's Bargain Outlet. I've never been to one, but I want to. Double daily inside bar. We got double D's. You got resistance at 58.26, 58.33, support 56.71, and 56.67. Getting super, super tight. That's a nice chart. We have this nice EQ. Lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low. Now it's trying to set a potential lower high to 59.98, or it could go take it out. We don't know yet. Yesterday's support, super important. The question is, are you day trading or trying to swing this? I have some swings that I've started, a swing that I've started, and it's just a bad time to start swings with FOMC tomorrow. So, yeah, hit that like button. Perfect, Donice. Okay, Tilray, let me go faster. $312, $312. We have a weekly double bottom at $312. Each time that level gets tested, we're depleting inventory below and we have the risk of going through that level. 4-hour 8 EMA dominating price. 323 is key resistance. That's yesterday's high. Key support 312. Hourly EMAs are overhead, and I'm looking for any ray of hope. Just don't see it at all. Don't see glimmers of hope. Hourly 50 RSI is nuking price every time it gets near it. So bears are in control of this chart. All right, good morning. ADA, US. We are inside yesterday's range. Resistance 4571, support 4329. We're in a daily downtrend. Key weekly support is 4239. 4-hour bulls have made enough room for a higher low compared to 4329, but it's not guaranteed at this point. And I'll deal you some hopium. This could be the start of an Adam and Eve reversal pattern, but we don't have the right side at all, so it's very early pattern identification. But what has me looking for a potential bullish pattern is this declining bear volume on this pullback, which is somewhat bullish. So support 4329. Morning, good morning. NGN, Ross, Bahram, and CLH had an upgrade this morning, I believe to $19 if I'm not mistaken. So I'm always picking on the cruise lines, I admit it, but look at this monthly chart. I looked at this chart this morning, obviously. It's a potential monthly bear flag. It's like textbook bear flag, textbook. So yes, they got to upgrade, and yes, it's doing some wonderful things. It's just that this monthly chart has me hesitate. Bears are waiting to pick their spot on this one. This could be a daily bull flag, but it's the ugliest of ugly. You don't want to see those upper wicks on bull flags. but I can make it simple. As long as these hourly EMAs are below us, bulls are in charge. Crisp, let's do it. And I'll get started probably with indices and maybe 1 minute early so we can get through it all. Daily is resting on the 200 MA. We got rejected at the 50 MA, and now we're attempting to hold this 200 MA. Okay, I can deal some hopium on this one too. I'm just a drug dealer this morning. So typically you don't want to see the neckline break on the right side. You want that right side to be slightly lower than the left side. But when we think about patterns and textbook, we have to always just remain logical. And what is logical? We got a higher high over that 73.78. So yeah, it may have negated a textbook inverse head and shoulders, but isn't that bullish to just go ahead and go get a higher high? Sure. Daily uptrend could be a buying opportunity down here for that potential inverse head and shoulders against yesterday's low, 65.82. Hey Ram, you're a professional SPX trader. I trade SPX. Probably 80% of my trades are now SPX. I just love selling premium. Monitoring the room, it's just difficult to be an active day trader. So selling premium is a way for me to still participate and trade without having to watch it super closely. Y'all ready to get started? Tesla, no red flags yet. You bought your rug at Ollie's? Hi, Mr. SB Local. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that would be great. You can check us out at chartguys.com, and even better, you can check us out after the show. Let me make sure, did I repin that message? I'm going to pin the YouTube link for the open house that will start when this says 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. Eastern. Dan will get started with the open house. And what he does is he does pre-market. He's looking at the indices like what I do, but of course he's the GOAT. He looks at commodities. He looks at setups. He highlights setups that he's watching. He'll do that for about an hour, and he narrates the opening of the markets. And he will say, okay, let's look at XLF, QQQ. He's constantly looking at correlations and calling out things for us. If he finds a trade setup that he likes, he will share that as well. And then he goes over ticker requests for TCG members. So remember, this is a live show free to the public, but we have 3 shows per day, live streams, where members can ask us chart requests. So I know a lot of you get frustrated with me that I don't get to your chart request in here, but you get that opportunity 3 times a day on live stream, and anytime you want, you can put in general chat, hey, I need some comments on this chart. Can you give me your technical opinion? And we jump in there and give you our technical analysis. So that'll get started at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. So I have 20 minutes to rip through 25 charts. So let's do it. I'll go over indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. I had to start out with this. This is amazing. This hit me right between the eyes this morning. I'm constantly talking to you about system. So you instantly become a better trader when you choose to do one thing exceptionally well. RAM, SPX. There you go. That's what you choose to do well. Hey, Maddie. How much for a pound of opium? It's free today. I'm dealing it free today. One setup, one time frame, one component of execution, aim to be the best at one thing. And then Elaine, I follow her on Twitter as well. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. How true is that? So I know I've been on a systems kick for, well, I guess since I started the pregame show, April of last year, but having a system, a clearly defined system, decreasing the number of indicators you have on your chart, decreasing the number of tickers that you watch, decreasing the amount of noise that you take in. A lot of us like to be in echo chambers. I saw that this morning on Twitter as well. And echo chambers, it may feel good for the ego. You hear people constantly spouting off what your thesis is, but I want to learn. I want to grow. I don't want to stay in an echo chamber and just hear myself or the likes of me saying the same thing. I want to grow. Okay, man, was that a tangent. So we went over this 12-hour broadening formation, and I was dealing hopium yesterday, and it actually did hold. The 12-hour broadening formation on ES and the 12-hour broadening formation on VIX held. I have not touched this line. I should adjust it, but I haven't touched it. from yesterday morning. And those two components were giving me glimmers of hope for the market bulls. We've got some, what's the right word? We've got some warning signals. I tried to draw a parabolic chart. The way it kept moving, I was trying to draw this parabolic line. It wasn't my friend this morning, but the US 10-year is a problem, folks. It's a problem. And if you want to look at even a bigger problem, the US 2-year. Do you remember we started looking at this last August? This sucker is up 35%. Excuse me. No. 3,500% in 1 year. Let me show you. Right here, August 21. Man, I got that wrong. Okay, try again. Almost 2,000% it's up since last August. That is a huge, huge move up. And US 2-year is a better measure of inflation because it's measuring more recent data. And it's 3.96. Okay, remember that number, 3.96. Now look at the US 10-year, 3.565. So we have inverted. The US 2-year is now greater than the 10-year. We've known this for a while. It's inverted. But this thing is really going parabolic this morning. Huge leg up. RSI is 77 on the hourly. I don't have a lot of market hopium to deal today as long as this US 10-year is on the rocket ship higher. This is a headwind for equities. Let me say it again. The US 10-year with the rocket ship is a headwind for equities. Now, do I think we're going to drop all day into the FOMC tomorrow? I wouldn't think so. I would think we'd get a little more sideways action and we have enough room for a 4-hour higher low on ES. So I'm thinking more chop today. We had chop yesterday or sideways action, and I personally don't like to diddle in the middle. So the dollar also has some strength. We're coming up here at 110.175. So we'll see if that 110.175 holds. That's a daily double top for now. You can see a little bit more clearly on the 4-hour. So we'll see if that holds. Dollar strength and US 10-year strength are two major headwinds for ES. We need those to sit down, and I assume that once Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow and lets us know, is it the 7.5 or is it a full point, it will then dictate the more shorter term direction of Dixie and the US 10-year. Don't diddle in the middle. Nope. We have plenty of room for a 4-hour higher low compared to 384625. And we're at the hourly 50 MA. But this hourly 50 MA doesn't mean diddly squat as long as this US 10-year is screaming higher. This hourly 50 MA will not be able to support price on ES with this type of 10-year rate action. So I hope I've driven that home, and it's the most important data point I have for you today. And on the next bounce, we're expecting an hourly lower high. So we could just go sideways. This gives me even more validity to my EQ scenario today with this 4-hour room for higher low. And then on the hourly, we've pulled back to an extent that now we're looking for an hourly lower high. NQ. Hey, sissy. Okay, we're on the hourly 50 MA on NASDAQ as well, and your next support is 11.89750, 11.848. I guess I should have started with the daily. On ES, that's a potential daily bear flag. NASDAQ, potential daily bear flag. These 12-hour broadening formations are cute and all, but they don't mean crap compared to that daily bear flag. The daily bear flag is the overarching tone in my head to remember, don't get overly long on anything. And we don't have to trade today. So the trade setup is basically, Dan said it well. Instead of saying it in my words, let's go read what Dan put in our Slack chat this morning. This is it. Here's the 3 sentences that you need to know today. If you're an aggressive bull, you're looking for hourly higher lows on the morning entries. If you're an aggressive bear, you're looking at top fishing shorts versus a high of yesterday. A top fish means a short, a bottom fish means a long. And patient traders are just sitting on their hands. They're not doing a whole lot ahead of FOMC tomorrow. So, yeah, Tesla is so strong. Matthew. Hey, Mr. SB, good. Awesome. Welcome to the community. All right, so NASDAQ, I gave you the levels. ES, I didn't. I was a bad girl. You have resistance up at 3936 and you have support at 3878. We're expecting an hourly lower high. NASDAQ, hourly lower high. RTY, hourly lower high on the next bounce. YM, hourly lower high. So aggressive bulls, it looks like you could have a play this morning to mid-morning, and then bears have a play in the afternoon because we're on any bounce, we're looking for lower highs. So that's kind of the direction I'm looking today. And if I ever don't just call out the level, if it's a line there, you can see it in light gray over here on the legend or whatever. X, Y, I don't know. On the scale over here, the light gray, the support 30833, 30804, resistance 31256. Come on, mouse. My mouse just bugged out. Okay, so here's a little more hopium for market bulls. We're looking for a 4-hour lower high on VIX. So on ES, we're looking for a 4-hour higher low. And on VIX, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high. So again, I'm looking kind of bullish early on to buy this dip. And then I'll be looking bearish later in the day if it sets up like I think it is. And if not, then I'll just wave at it. Hang Seng is up 1% overnight. That's somewhat bullish, and DAX is down 0.89. So can't really ascertain or glean a lot of information from that. Bitcoin and Ethereum have interesting patterns. So 4-hour, plenty of room for a higher low on Bitcoin, plenty of room. Ethereum had this hourly EQ. Is it still going? Yeah. Look at this. So we just went over the Fab4 indices and Bitcoin, and all 5 of those have hourly downtrends, all 5, except for Ethereum. It's holding. It has relative strength this morning. We have support at 1345, 1342. And again, if I don't call out the levels, you can see over here in light gray, resistance 1377.92 and 1392.94. Daily, we could be setting up bear flags on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but look at that candle. You typically don't get a lower wick like that if you're in the process of forming a bear flag. You don't see those lower wicks of bulls buying the dip. That is a bullish candle for Bitcoin bulls, but we're still expecting daily lower high. 4-hour has enough room for a higher low. Hourly downtrend on the next bounce, we're looking for a lower high. So same thought process, looking bullish in the morning on Bitcoin and long in the afternoon. Bullish in the morning and bearish in the afternoon. Oh, Hugh, good. That was my best trade of the day too. I went long and then I went short into the pit close. Oil was just behaving. Let's go look at oil. Yeah, I know. 301 Bitcoin, crazy. MSTR with the buy. So oil, what we were looking for yesterday, let me go back to the daily. We were looking for a daily higher low compared to 81.20. I told you it was my queen of the mountain trade setup yesterday. It worked out very well. Right here, 81.73, we've got an hourly tweezer bottom. Even if you waited for the hourly stair step, which was a trigger on the break of 82.67, you still made out like a bandit. So overnight, we had 86.12. We're running into this 86.18 resistance. We're getting some morning pops over here. We've been getting some bull volume coming in. Look at this. However, I'm not paying a lot of attention to it. It's just noise until it's over 86.20. I'm still more bearish oil than bullish. As long as we're below 86.20, I think it could provide good top fishing opportunities. But yesterday I had complete and utter clarity on oil on the long and the short at pit close. Where's the pit close? 1 second. If it takes too long, I won't do it. I was shorting all in here, and then I was posting every entry and exit. So let's go look at commodities. So yesterday, oil still up here near resistance. We were 6 minutes before pit close. I entered short on futures, and then it popped. I added more, and then I started covering, and I posted every exit that I had. I got stopped out of the last one, like a 17-cent loss, but I ended up having like 10 contracts. So that last one was red, but the other 9 were pretty good in green. But US. Yeah, we're getting over that 110.17.5 resistance on the dollar. Again, we need the dollar to sit down. Okay, back to gold. Gold, we're still inside yesterday's range, and yesterday's range was still inside Friday's range. So we have double daily inside bars, but more importantly, this is a potential daily bear flag. Gold ain't going nowhere until the dollar sits down. That was a very absolute statement, but the dollar must chill out in order for metals to make some headway. So you're in an hourly downtrend, and I don't see that changing anytime soon until the dollar can take a breather. You have enough room for a potential 4-hour higher low compared to 1667, but look at what this is. You're getting these tiny higher highs, a lot of follow through. Whoops. That's a potential. We've got that daily bear flag. So the rising wedge is sloppy, so I don't need to call it a rising wedge, but definite potential. Definite potential. Lord have mercy. Potential daily bear flag on gold. Your key resistance on the hourly, 1684, and then 1688. Your support, 1673 and 1668. Nat gas. Okay. Oh, that's good. Housing starts were a little higher than expected. So we have 6 minutes. So I need to go a little bit faster because I will be shutting it down in 6 minutes. We have enough room for a 4-hour higher low compared to 7.404. Your resistance 7879, 7914. That's from the hourly. I forgot to mention API estimates after hours at 4:30 Eastern for oil, and then oil inventory tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern. So on nat gas, that's messy. I'm not going to call that a bear. But we have enough room for a 4-hour higher low on nat gas. The bulls are trying to get their act together, but they did lose weekly support. The question is, are we beginning to form some type of broadening formation here? Getting these lower lows without follow through, higher high without follow through remains to be seen. I don't have a trade for you on nat gas. And I want to make sure I cover this. My highest conviction setup, my Queen of the Mountain trade, is LVS. This is a strange one for me. It's not one that I trade a lot. But when we have this type of price action that's so clear, you can see it from Mars. You see that? We got 40.60 as the next resistance over these highs, 40.33 and then 40.60. So we had news this morning, shares of U.S. casino operators up in pre-market trading as China plans to ease border entry rules. Y'all look at this squeeze. Ain't she cute? Beautiful squeeze, tight range. We have a daily uptrend. I like this for potential long. We have a 4-hour squeeze and we had an hourly squeeze yesterday. So I like a pullback buy on LVS compared to 38.75. Intel, I have a swing entry. So just a heads up, disclaimer that I do have an entry on this one. It is weekly oversold, it's monthly oversold, and we have a support level you can see from Mars, 27.68. As long as that holds, I'm going to stay in the trade. And this is a dividend trade for me. Clear support nearby, dividend trade. And the daily RSI had some bull divergence, oversold on all these time frames. Let me zoom in. You see that daily RSI made a higher low, while price made a lower low. That's some bull divergence. Doesn't mean it'll work out, but I like the risk to reward in getting a 5.1% yield name, I think. Well, 4.96%. And they just announced, I believe it was Friday, that they are not changing their dividend. They're keeping it the same, that 0.365. So I have an Intel long, and I'm going to stay with that long. I only have 15% of a normal swing position because of FOMC tomorrow. ICLN. What does this look like, y'all? This looks like Roku and Roblox did a couple weeks ago, doesn't it? With this clear downtrend line. This is a clean energy ETF. It has wonderful liquidity. Average shares traded 5 million. I already did Bitcoin if you want to rewind. Oh, perfect, GYSL. So ICLN, we have this clear 4-hour downtrend. The 50 RSI is holding back price. On the hourly, I like a pullback buy compared to 21.74 and then stop out if you're wrong. Because the risk to reward is so good here because it's so clearly defined. My risk is 6 cents from where price is right now. So I like this for a potential long. Looking for that daily higher low compared to 21.27 as we sit on the daily 50 MA. And then Etsy, I love all 4 of these charts to the long side. Etsy, ICLN, Intel, and LVS. Look at that candle yesterday. That was beautiful. I wouldn't say we're over the daily EMAs, but we're definitely holding them. We're over the daily 50 MA. We have a daily EQ. They got coverage initiation this morning, I think, with a $130 price target. You have resistance up at 114.08. I like a pullback buy compared to yesterday's low on Etsy. So I have 2 more minutes. Apple, aggressive bulls looking to bottom fish. This is the same thing I read out loud to you that Dan typed. Aggressive bears are looking to top fish the high of yesterday. Aggressive bulls looking to bottom fish the low of yesterday. And conservative traders in general are sitting on their hands and waving, smiling and waving at all these setups. Apple had a relatively strong day. 2.5% is huge. That is a huge day on Apple. Think of how much that market cap moved on 2.5%. So Apple would be a better long for me than Amazon, for example, because Amazon did not have that strength yesterday. Nvidia had relative strength. Let's see, what did I write about Nvidia? Hourly uptrend, daily lower high anticipated. So I love that it got a nice bounce yesterday. Congratulations to you. Yes, Jim Cramer says it's a loser. He's probably going to change his dog's name. But we're still looking for a daily lower high. So I would agree on from a technical perspective, bears are just looking to position themselves against 14547. And I would like a bull bounce on FOMC into that 14547. Okay, that's my signal to stop for a potential short. All right, thank you for joining me. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go give me a follow on Twitter, and click right here at the very top. Open house starts right there. That's the YouTube link to watch Dan go live in 10 minutes. Use stop losses.